Welcome to Tokyo. We're here for watches. A number of interesting things. Hey guys, first day in Tokyo. Today's a bit rainy, so kind of a pain in the ass. So we decided to go to Nakano Broadway, which is a covered market where there are a lot of watch shops and probably the best place in Tokyo to buy watches. So let's go. Are you gonna eat some food?
Yes.
Do you wanna eat some food?
Yes.
Nakano Broadway is kind of like an arcade from the 70s. It's pretty amazing because basically, as you'll see, you have like 12, 15 watch shops all next to each other, and many of them with like really good selections. Whenever I come to Tokyo, it's always the first place I come and check out because it gives you a good idea of the prices that you will see, which models might be around. So yeah, we'll just be going through it, see what we find and pick. Hopefully we find some good deal, right? So, quick note before we get started. I will be showing you all the main stores in Nakano Broadway and their offerings, but I'm on the hunt for interesting vintage pieces, anything odd that catches my attention. Alright, back to it. Right now we are on the 3rd floor of Nakano Broadway, which is the watch floor. Jackroad Betty might just be the watch store in Japan. If you're serious about watches, this is where you want to be. Brand new models, ultra rare vintage pieces, and everything in between. The Rolex selection is always outstanding. They got pieces from every era. Tons of Explorer, rare Daytonas, some Submariners, and GMTs, and a bunch of day dates. But while the selection is excellent, I tend to avoid Rolex in Japan, as prices are pretty much in line with global markets. So if you're after a bargain, this might not be it. Now, here are a few interesting Grand Seiko pieces. We got the Karazawa, the Taizetsu, and the stunning limited edition 3 rings. Oh, and look at this jaw-dropping skeleton Credor. Already on old, unfortunately. If you're traveling with your partner, or just want to see what's out there for women's watches, don't fret. The Betty in Jackroad Betty is for dedicated ladies section. Look at these rare outlandish Cartiers. Some interesting Bulgaris as well. Just pieces you don't see every day. This malachite serpenti is truly stunning. When I come to Jackroad though, this is really what I'm looking forward to. Their ample vintage selection in the back of the store. Jaeger-LeCoultre, Vacheron Constantin, Omega, Longines, anything you want really. I'm seeing a few interesting models, but before trying them, I want to do a full roundup of all the stores. First day here and we were a bit jet-lagged, so we were out of the house early. Many of the shops are closed still. But honestly, in Tokyo, things generally open pretty late. 11 is kind of the time when they start opening up. We're just gonna chill, we're gonna look at the shops that are open and wait for the others. But I don't think I'm gonna buy anything today.
He did.
I just wanna scout the market. I found a few nice pieces at Jackroad. I'm just gonna see the other stores and then potentially go there. We're gonna try them and you see. That was for Asia, not you. Asia, my girlfriend, not the continent. On the 3rd floor, there's also some pretty good anime and manga stores, if you want. GoodWatch is a sleeper here. If you're into Rolex, this is where you go. They got some rare models, like this Tropical Explorer and vintage Daytona. But the real standout, they sell original Rolex bracelets, which can be hard to find in person. Of course, I failed to film them, but trust me, you have to check it out. Belle Monde might not have the biggest in-store selection, but their online inventory makes up for it. Today, they seem to have quite a few vintage Grand Seiko and Kinseiko at solid prices. Always interesting to see and a great pickup if you have a limited budget. This, the Citizen with an indigo washi paper dial, is also an eye candy. Definitely stop by if you're after Japanese watches. Watchnian is one of Japan's biggest watch retailers, with locations in nearly every major neighborhood. They tend to focus on second-hand modern watches, not really my thing, but look at this Bulgari Octofinissimo Sejima limited edition with a fascinating mirror dial. Kamekichi is one of my go-to spots. They always have some pieces from the sought-after Grand Seiko Seasons collection. Also here, the Lake Suwa, Night Birch, White Birch, and other rare models. That SBGK 009? A lot of people find it boring, but honestly, one of my favorites. But now, to the really good stuff. Let's move to their boutique next door. First up, this Overseas Perpetua Ultra Thin Skeleton, bellissimo, and an Overseas Tourbillon. A VC222, the hottest watch from a couple of years ago. A good range of Nautiluses, Nautili, whatever the plural of Nautilus is. A great watch, though honestly, not my personal favorite. More Pateks, moon phase, annual calendar, war timers. Few Lange, always great to see them. They even have a section for independent brands, with the likes of Naoya, Laurent Ferrier, Moser, and more. I can't really afford any of these brands, but make sure to stop by, because the selection is incredible. Or buy them, if you can. Renzu is another generalist store with reasonable prices. Today, they have some really fun Glasuto watches and more Grand Seiko season models. Honestly, it's kinda rare to see this many in one trip. Good thing I'm not into them that much, or I'll be walking out with one. AskWatch is a stylish modern retailer. Prices tend to be on the higher end. Still, definitely worth checking out. Honorable mention to these great stores that were unfortunately closed for the day. Firekids is one of the best spots for vintage Japanese watches. If you're hunting for rare Seikos, this place should be your first stop. Universal Value is Tokyo's only Omega exclusive store, specializing in vintage Speedmasters. Back at Jackroad, it's finally time to try a few of the watches that caught my eye earlier. So we did a whole round of Nakano, and we found some interesting watches. Some of the shops are still closed. There's a number of interesting things at Jackroad, so we are gonna try them. At the moment, they're pretty packed, so there's not even a space at the tables in the back to try them. So we're just waiting. And while we wait, watch check. This is my beloved 18K white gold AP Cobra with diamond indices and hands. It's not actually a Cobra, as the name should be reserved solely to the model famously worn by the Shah of Iran. But these days, people seem to call this whole family of 70s APs Cobra. And the watches I picked are finally here. First up, this 9K yellow gold Gigel Lecoultre with its pebble-like case. I find something about it really charming, but the crystal? Far too pronounced for my taste. It feels like it's clashing with the design instead of complementing it. Too bad. Next, another piece from GLC. A square tongue with a stunning Clou de Paris texture case. 10K gold-plated. It's really nice, but gold plating isn't really my thing, and the price is a bit high, so it's a no. Then an Omega Calatrava. Beautiful, but again, gold-plated. More importantly though, the patina on the dial doesn't sit quite right with me. It looks like there could have been some water damage in the past. Pass. This Omega Deville from the 70s though, the tropical dial on it is beautiful. I can't really see myself wearing it a lot though, as it's a bit big and it's gold-plated. I'll have to leave it behind. But then, this vintage Movado chronometer. Love at first sight. This one is coming home with me.
Okay. Thank you. So much.
This is the Movado White Flight bezel from the 1940s, reference 12706. Understated, refined, and just cool. It is powered by the Caliber 75, a chronometer certified movement reserved only for Movado's finest. The case? a graceful 31.5 millimeters, made by the same manufacturers that supplied Patek, which tells you everything you need to know. Sure, by today's standards, it might seem small, but that's how watches were worn back then. But I find the real magic here is the dial. Still original, it features applied numerals that stand out starkly against the black background. Just a clean, elegant design. If you remember, the watch came to me on a grey leather strap, but that didn't quite feel right. So I swapped it for the steel bracelet that is just perfect for pre-70s Calatrava-like vintage watches like this one. If you're curious where I got it, I'll show you all about it in an upcoming episode. Still here? Thank you for watching the whole video. If you want to see more Watch Hands-on content, make sure you like and subscribe. Here is a preview from our next adventure.
Oh my gosh, how cute.